Welcome to Gloria's Gab Live. I have with me today Marile and Jorge Lopez, and they are honorees at an upcoming National Philanthropy Day event coming up November 2nd at Jungle Island. And I'm so happy to have you both. Thank you so much for coming to tell us all about the great things they're doing in our community and about. They get a big award. Before we start, I have to thank South Florida PBS. South Florida PBS is probably one of the best resources we have in our community for great programming. And they have this, The American Buffalo, by one of my favorite, Ken Burns. Whenever he does anything, it's always wonderful. But there's so many things. And also they have allhealthtv.com, allhealthtv.com. If you've ever gone to it, you can get all kind of free information. And then once a week, we've got the Sex Talk with Dr. Leah, and that's a really interesting show too. So anyway, thank you, South Florida PBS. And now let's talk about all the great things you guys are doing, and you're getting this amazing award. It's the National Philanthropy Day Outstanding Philanthropist Award. Is that correct? And how did you get involved in philanthropy? Who wants to start first?
Well,
was it community service or?
It was. It's always been driven by volunteerism. That is the start, the initial of anything that you want to do. You start by volunteering your time. Exactly. Because for us, time is very precious. And as everyone else's, you can donate $1, but you can make up that $1, but you can't make up that time. Exactly. So it was through our volunteerism and friends that introduced us to different causes that we started this fabulous journey. And guided by our faith, we believe in giving back. Mm-hmm. We believe in helping those in our community and beyond. And that's how we started in different organizations locally and then nationally. And it's been wonderful.
Yeah. And I saw in your resume, because they have a resume you cannot believe, that you were doing something with the Archdiocese. So I assume you're Catholic yes. Charities kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, me
yes,
too.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. So, and how about you? How did you first?
Well, very similar as Maria described, and you mentioned the church. Usually, especially Cubans and who arrived, in this great country as refugees, we find ways to give back and to support families. And the church really was the one that helped us most get organized and help. And so volunteering, in our parish is really where it began, and it flows, as Marile says, through our faith. And so mm-hmm. we firmly believe that we're blessed and we have to share. And part of that sharing is time, talent, treasure. So sure. It's not just the donations, but it's usually our skills, certainly our time, our ability to convene folks around causes has really been I think the most important thing we've been able to contribute to many of the organizations in our community.
So are you first generation?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
We were both born on the island and
really
came as young lads.
When did you come? Did you come on Pedro Pan or?
No, just
one of those. You just came before?
Flights, yeah.
The Freedom Flights?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so you really are the American success story, aren't you?
Amen.
Good night. So of all the things that you did initially, what was it that just, was the thing that made you say, oh, I got to do more? Was it the church? Because
Definitely our faith guides us, and giving back to our parish and then the Archdiocese in general has been a guiding force. But interesting enough, it was my mother-in-law is a breast cancer survivor.
Okay.
My mother-in-law, Sara. And she is now 22 years strong survivor.
Good for her.
And it was her journey that opened my particular eyes into the cause, breast cancer awareness. And we're in October, so it's very befitting that we mention this. And my mother-in-law is a very strong woman, and I saw what this was doing to her. And once she went through her treatment and now, again, as a survivor, I said, well, I want to get involved. I want to give back. We have 5 children, 2 are girls. And it seemed so natural for us to go that way. So we reached out to the American Cancer Society, and we started with the walks, and then we started chairing their events, and then ultimately George was on their national board.
Oh, wow.
So it was a trajectory again of time and talent and treasure, but ignited by my mother-in-law's unfortunate circumstance.
Right.
But now as a survivor, we see the amazing work that the organization does at American Cancer Society with research and everything.
Well, my daughter is a breast cancer survivor. But, you know, I'm sure when your mother got it,
My mother-in-law, yes.
your mother-in-law, and then when my daughter got it, like only, I don't know, 5 years ago or whatever, she had a double mastectomy, but the everything is so much easier, and they've made so many strides that
Absolutely.
the survival rates are just astronomical now.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there's many organizations that support this this cause for awareness, breast cancer awareness and early detection. And it was again through my mother-in-law and her efforts going through this that I realized, well, let's help, let's donate, let's volunteer, let's get involved.
Yeah. And then
That's how it
that
started for me. It's a big part.
Well, yeah, no, that's perfect, because it's very personal.
Yes, it was very personal.
And then you meet other people that are doing other great things in the community, right?
Absolutely. And that is what philanthropy is. And that is what charitable work is. It's really personal. It's really individualized. And if you see it that way, it just grows.
And I see it almost as an addiction, because once you do it and you feel the satisfaction you gain from it, you find another opportunity. And I know you guys have, because well, first of all, George, you're a lawyer.
Yes.
So you have a lot of leadership, well, both of you, these amazing leadership skills, and you're both, really educated. You're homegrown success stories. You didn't go off and, you went to what? One of you, which one went to?
Law.
UM Law. Well, I know you went to UM Law, but did you go to Miami-Dade and then FIU?
That's correct. So I lived in Puerto Rico, and then as a young girl, and then I came back, and I went to high school here.
Yeah.
And then I went to Miami-Dade College, which I'm honored to have been
I heard
Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer.
Yes,
Congratulations on that too.
My good friend, President Marile and honored me.
Oh yeah, she's
last
amazing.
year.
She's another one of our guests that we had. Casa Cuba, yeah.
And then I went to FIU.
Yeah.
I'm a very proud Panther. And then from there, I went and did a master's degree. And then I went back to Puerto Rico, went to law school. And in between that, I met George, and the rest is history.
So where did you meet? Did you meet in Puerto
here
Rico?
in Miami. No, by that time I had come back, and I didn't finish. I met George, and we got married, and the rest is history.
But now you're running his law office.
We do. We work together for the past. Well, George has been practicing law for 32 years.
Right.
Wow.
And for the past 17 years, we've been working together.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
I worked with my husband for a long time, and I loved it.
I love it.
It was great. Yeah.
We get to have lunch together.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So, and yet there's so much to talk about,
Cool.
So it makes sense that when you do stuff, you just do it all together. You're all in.
We
with regard to nonprofits.
Yep.
Oh yes, they say, well, we're getting two for the price of one. So it's great.
Absolutely. Which is
I say
awesome.
I'll bring in the networking, and George brings in the talent and so
That's
much
great.
more, and we enjoy this.
So what are you super active in right now? Because you can't do. I saw the Big Brothers Big Sisters. It's like United Way. There's just.
Right.
If there's a charity in town, I think you've had your hand in them.
Well, I think as you pointed out, and you can see, charities do recruit us, right, from time to time. And what I think has worked really well for us is when there's a particular project or need with an organization, then that's usually where we engage. And honestly, once it's over, we move on. So although there's a great connection and we support them on an annual basis, we're pretty much every Saturday we're supporting a local charity. we call it date night with 800 of our closest friends.
I love that.
So we stay connected, but usually roles with organizations hinge around a project, right, or a particular need. I'm actually now serving on the board of the Miami-Dade Bar.
Really?
Kind of one of the oldest members now, because there's a lot of young guns there. Our oldest son is a lawyer as well.
Oh, really?
But there's some things going on in the legal community. There's things that our community needs to focus on for the future, and so that's where I'm engaged now more recently with. Marile is working with other organizations. We just had a phenomenal event with Angels for Humanity.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
They're a great organization.
Yeah. Is their mission? Because I know I read about it.
They service children here in Little Haiti, Overtown, Little Havana, and they do a back to school fair. But they also do medical mission, which is what attracted us. And the medical mission helps children from teeth cleaning to x-rays, not only here in our country, but they go out to Haiti, Santo Domingo, El Salvador, Guatemala.
Yeah.
And the medical missions are just, your heart goes out to see.
Oh, yeah. No,
need.
and
Yes.
I've dealt with a couple of different groups that are doing those, and now you can't go to Haiti.
Yes. So Angels for Humanity, they have the annual back to school fair, and they also have the medical missions, and then they support different smaller groups within within their community.
Yeah.
Judas Joseph founded, and Dr. Tatiana Teo spearheads their committee and their chair.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. So, what's coming up after this? Do you have any big events that you're supporting?
Part of sort of the journey, as Marile points out, is our foundation, our family foundation.
Oh, you have a family foundation. Right. Okay.
And so we're targeting different areas. So most of our goals there are education and youth, but the idea is really to start to leverage some of the experiences we've had, and certainly the funding, so that we can have a real impact in areas where capacity is being built. There's always areas that have greater need, and sometimes the not-for-profit world is evolving into those spaces. And what we have seen from our collective experience, especially from a national level, is that family foundations can help at least get programs in place and then continue. We're still active with the Chapman Partnership. I was privileged to be involved with that from its inception with Mr. Chapman personally. So there's all sorts of things going on. We're always vigilant to the call from our Archbishop.
Oh, yes.
We love
Thomas Winsky. Now everybody loves him.
Whenever he calls.
Have you ever done his motorcycle?
I don't.
He meets at our they start at my church, Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Yeah, of course.
No, it's crazy. Yeah, he does mass, and then they're...
We do pray for him when he's on his bike. So.
Gosh, don't we all?
But so we're always, again, vigilant, waiting for a call on a particular mission that he may send us on, and we're happy to do so.
Oh, that's lovely. Oh, my gosh. So what I wanted to ask you about when you first got here, how the church helped you. What in particular did they do? And is that something that carries on that you continue to help with, whether it's finding jobs? How did that work for you?
Well, we do continue. Our children are also involved. That's kind of
the wonderful thing about a family foundation.
That we have is that our children are equally involved in doing more than, honestly, we've ever been able to do.
Well, they have more time. They're not as old.
And their energy.
The older you get, the more work you have to do, right?
So, but what I would say is, back to my youth and our family, the church reminded us that we were not alone. Fundamentally, that's mostly what you need, right? You got to get up, you got to go to work, you got to do your things, you got to go to school. But at the end of the day, that hope that something good is coming your way and someone cares about you, and then again, you're not alone. So our modest church. I grew up in Opalaca. Our Lady of Perpetual Help was the church we went to.
Yeah.
And our pastor, Father Bardick, he was always there. And, now we see it, as you mentioned, Archbishop Wensky, when you see him, you're not alone. There's something more going on. And so just that was the beginning. And then, of course, everything from there, my mom would volunteer. Everything around the church. I was an altar boy into my 20s, towered over. Now all our sons have been Eucharistic ministers. So we stay involved. Again, we react to the call more than anything, or answer the call. But that's part of what led us to this.
Yeah, that's just a lovely story. Tell me something. Well, okay, you've got a family foundation. Are you members of the Council on Foundations?
No, we're not.
Okay, because the community foundations, you might want to look into that, because I learned a lot about family foundations by going there, because they have all these workshops. But look into that, because I think you'd gain a lot. Your kids would gain a lot.
Very cool.
Because ultimately you want them to take over the foundation, right?
Of course.
They've taken over everything else. So
They take
might as
over,
well, right?
That's what kids do. Oh, yeah. I speak from experience. So besides running the family foundation, you've got a law office, and you've got your kids. And now tell me about the kids. What is everybody doing?
So our oldest, AR, is 28. He actually has joined the firm. He's an attorney.
Oh, good.
So has joined
Did
us.
he go to UM also?
He went to St. Thomas.
Oh,
University.
another great one.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have our son Carlos, who is 24. He's an entrepreneur. And Anya, who's 22. She just graduated from University of Miami and is working with my mother's company, Maria Headpieces.
Oh, now tell me about that, because I read about that.
Yes, my mother. My mother is a very unique person, wonderful. She is a bridal headpiece designer. So she started her business literally in a room in our home, and currently is a global
Name.
It's a global name.
Yeah.
So from local girls to Paris Hilton just wore her headpiece to
Get out of here.
Yeah. So
Oh my gosh.
celebrities and it's a beautiful business. It's weddings, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
fun, and everybody's happy.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
our daughter Anya, who graduated from University of Miami just last semester, go Canes. She's taking over now that business, and she's so excited.
That's wonderful.
And then
Oh, my
looking for
goodness.
number 4, we got 4 and 5. We have twins,
Oh, wow.
Sara Amelia and Lewis, and they're 17. She's at Carrollton, and he's at Belen. So they're seniors, so we are in the middle of college applications.
Oh, my
with
gosh.
them.
Well, that's a whole nother job.
It
So
has
you do
been.
have another job.
Yes. And they're
But do you think they're going to end up at UM also?
well, that's his first choice. That's
Lewis's,
Lewis is definitely a Canes. Sara Amelia is looking to see. She is seeing what her options are, as
good
we
for her.
women do.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe she just doesn't want to be in the same place with her brother for a change.
Yeah,
Maybe. No, Yeah.
we'll see.
And we have so many, you don't even have to go out the state of Florida to get great universities.
Absolutely.
So,
So she's we're in that process. We're in the college application process. And,
good times.
Insane.
Well, are you going to do the college tour?
We've done a
you
few,
did.
which has been great. And as a family, we had done them with our older children as well. And now with the twins, it's just very different, because they're twins, but it's a boy and a girl, and they have very different personalities. So and interests. So 2 summers ago, we actually took a road trip. We started here, Miami. We went all the way to Maine.
Really?
Yes, it took us a month and a half.
Oh, bless
and
you.
we went all the way to Maine, and we stopped at every university along the way.
Get
because again,
out.
different interest.
Yeah, right.
And he came back saying, "Yeah, it's University of Miami for me." We're like, okay, after
You go, what? We spent all that time?
But it was great. Lewis is great.
Oh my gosh.
He rows for Belen. He's in the crew
Oh, he's a
team.
rower?
He's a rower.
Yeah.
Very proud of him. He won head of the Charles last year.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, he has his Henley jacket, and Sara Amelia's an amazing student at Carrollton. She loves her school. She loves everything about it, but she's looking beyond Miami. So we will
My
see.
kids went to camp there.
It's a great
They didn't go to school there, but they they went to
education.
public school.
Education is the key,
Yeah.
and education is the key, and that is one of the most important things in our family foundation is for education. And we have a scholarship at Pace High School, which is where
Oh,
George
good.
went.
Oh, is that
Yeah,
right? Oh,
and
okay.
It's through the Archdiocese and through Pace. We've been able to. It's going now on 6 years, and we've been able to have a total of 25 recipients.
Oh my
So
goodness,
it's
that's
really
a lot.
wonderful. It's
Yeah.
it's probably been the most impactful thing for us as a family, as a foundation, giving back this way.
So, does PACE actually help you with the selection? Because I know it's tricky when it's a private
Well, there's
foundation
a
giving a scholarship.
Well, we have it. Well, we have an application process.
Yeah.
and
You have to.
They do, and it's been very rewarding. So we received at the very first year was maybe like 10 applicants, and last year was a total of probably about 85 applicants. So, and we read them all.
I know you have to,
We do, and
but
that's
I always tell people
but that
giving
is
away
the
money
best.
is hard work. People think, oh yeah, you just give. Go no, you have to do your research. Yeah.
and it comes from the heart. So
Yeah.
you want to make sure that those who are receiving not just the money but the impact, right? The further impact, understand, and as we understood it when we were in their shoes, because we've walked that. We've been there.
But it's not just about the highest grades, and it's not just about the need.
absolutely.
It's also about
It's a combination
there's
of everything.
so many, things you have to put into the play.
Absolutely.
So I get it, but it's got to be hard. I mean,
It's fulfilling. It's hard, but it's fulfilling.
Yeah. Well, my Rotary Club has scholarships, and then one of the women's clubs has scholarships too. And they finally just gave them all to the Community Foundation to distribute. And they still review and do all the stuff. But with a Community Foundation, you don't have to worry about. There's a lot of stuff you don't
Of course.
have to jump through a lot of hoops. So I would assume if you do it through PACE, the same holds true. You don't have to do a lot of extra reporting, and there's because that red tape is a bugger. So you've got scholarships that you do on a regular basis, and do you fund like medical, that kind of stuff?
Well, the medical mission that we have funded has been through Angels for Humanity.
Oh, just Angels.
Which is, yes, is Angels for Humanity. We I had the honor of serving on the Nicholas Children's Hospital Board, which
they're
was
great.
then Miami Children's for 6 years.
Oh, okay.
And American Cancer Society. So St. Jude were very active. So there are a couple of organizations that
Those are all
medical
just
that we have
amazing.
also
Yeah.
contributed in our time.
Well, I'm involved in the smaller ones, the really grassroots ones. Coral Gables Women's Club has a free children's dental clinic. You provide free dental care for 500 children a year that fall between the cracks in the healthcare system. A lot of people don't even know about them. They're in Coral Gables, but they serve all of Miami-Dade County. And they're even trying to extend it if they can get the funding to take some of those kids that are aging out of the foster care system.
Yes, it's a big deal.
And there are a lot of people that provide free dental care, but there's not enough. And a lot of times we always say our kids are the children of the working poor, the people that fall between the cracks, that both parents are working, and that could be new arrivals here. They're just trying to make ends meet, and at the end of the day, they don't have preventative care. And we just took a child from Cuba that had some kind of awful antibiotic given to him that caused him to lose sight in his eye. He had lost his teeth, all kind of stuff. So they brought him over, and I think the Archdiocese helped with that. The Knights of Malta and different
just met
groups
the
got
young man.
together.
Yes.
Do you know about that?
Yeah, we just met
This
him.
kid?
Yeah.
Oh, you just met him?
We
He's
met
at
him.
Ronald McDonald House right now, he and his mom.
Right.
And my women's club just took a tour there. I couldn't make it yesterday because I just got too busy. But we took a tour and we said, oh, we ran into the kid that we're working.
Yes.
And so we did the dental care. And then one of our members does implants and stuff. She took
Yes,
care of
he's-
part of it.
He's blind. He came to
Yeah, wasn't that
reception
awful?
with the Archbishop. It was
Yeah.
very,
The Order
very
of Malta.
sad. The Order of Malta. Very sad.
yeah.
Very fulfilling that they're here now,
I know.
getting the help they need.
But the president of the Women's Club said, "Oh my gosh, Gloria, we ran. You believe it or not, we ran into
Look at that.
the mother and the son, and he's so happy. And can you imagine what that poor woman has been through? And and God bless them for being able to bring him over and provide all that stuff. So, another great charity, Ronald McDonald. I know you were one of their, what did they
Yes.
call them? The 4 great men or something.
Yes.
So those guys.
Those guys, yeah. What if they do it once a year,
12
don't
good
they?
men.
Right. 12 good men.
12 good men, that's it. Yeah, no, I had friends over the years that have been one of the 12 good men. Yeah, so I've never been to that event, but I'm sure it's a
fun.
wonderful event.
It's a fun event. And
They give you Ronald McDonald's house.
yeah, they do. And what's fascinating and really humbling is when you just like this recognition we're receiving, it really is the legacy of the members that have also received these honors. Sometimes, once you're the spotlight's on us, but truly it's everyone else that's going to be recognized on November 2nd. I think is incredible. Their legacies speak for themselves. Dave Lawrence in particular. So when you're in the company of those folks, you really are humbled, and the honor is honestly extremely well received by us. But just being in the company of those individuals that have really forged Miami paths to the future, received communities like ours as Cuban Americans, it really does speak highly of our entire community and how charitable we really are collectively.
Oh, no, amazing. And David Lawrence is so funny because we just were emailing each other this morning because I got something from him, and he's got some kind of big, on November 2nd, he's got some kind of big, I'm trying to remember what it was. It was a panel discussion or a workshop or something about, and I thought, oh, that's something I'd like to do.
Mm-hmm.
But then I said, November 2nd, that's National Philanthropy Day.
Right.
And I go, I swear, I thought he was one of the honorees. So I wrote him back and I said, hey, that's National Philanthropy Day. He goes, yeah, I'm going from this to that.
He doesn't stop.
Yes, he doesn't stop.
No, and then Alzheimer's, because my women's club and raise a lot of money for Alzheimer's research, and so we go to the Alzheimer's walk, and he's there, and he's like, he's got, he only raised what, 200,000 or 300,000 or something crazy thing. I go, we can't compete.
We've been blessed.
It'll be fun to see him on the 2nd, yeah. So, but I thought it was so funny. He goes, yeah, I'm doing that,
I'll be
and
there,
I'm going. Yeah, I'll
I can do more than one thing a day, right?
Yeah, can
I'm
you
Dave
imagine?
Lawrence.
He probably goes a zillion things a day. Yeah,
Absolutely.
well, like you two. I'm telling you, we could have taken 30 minutes just to read all the different awards and different groups that you've helped over the course of your philanthropic giving.
We're truly blessed that we could, and we have, and the rest is history, right? As they say. But most importantly, we want to thank the community of philanthropists, but the professionals, because Scripture tells us the work is there, but the laborers are few, and so sometimes we should pray for those that are actually organizing these charities. They're adding professionalism, as you mentioned, with the council. Guiding. There are real tricky red tape, right? All the things that you've mentioned, and truly those folks that will gather on the 2nd are the ones that are laboring in the fields and helping these charities connect with donors, but also provide the services that are so needy in our community.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, our time is up, believe it or not. Yeah, I know, I told you. I'll go fast. So, George, Marile, thank you so much for coming. It really has been an honor. And I look forward to seeing you on the 2nd.
Likewise.
And And for my viewers, thank you for viewing today. And please share this program so everybody will know what wonderful things are happening in our community. And National Philanthropy Day on November 2nd at Jungle Island, 11 o'clock. There may still be seats. Aureli Ruiz could give me a heads up. Do we still have seats available? Yes, okay. And for those tuning in every week, I will see you next week. Be safe, be kind, and make a difference.